How does the modern business operate? On the go and everywhere. In most cases, running a business today means you need to communicate with employees by voice, video, and messaging. Collaboration between workers who aren't located near each other is increasingly essential. And that's where Unified Communications as a Service, or UCaaS, comes in. Over the next few minutes, we'll cover the basics of UCaaS, learn how to decide if UCaaS is right for your organization, and discuss how to implement UCaaS smoothly. For a deeper dive, explore our complete collection on all things UCaaS by clicking the link above or in the description below. So what exactly is Unified Communications as a Service? Unified Communications is the umbrella term for the integration of different enterprise communication tools: voice calling, video conferencing, instant messaging, content sharing, and so on, into a single, streamlined interface. The goal of UC technologies is to improve user experience and productivity. UCaaS is the term used for the model of UC delivered through a cloud-based platform. That's the as-a-service part. UCaaS platforms integrate software that supports synchronous and asynchronous communication from any device. In other words, UCaaS makes consistent collaboration among teams possible, no matter where the team members are. The features UCaaS offers can include enterprise messaging, presence technology, online meetings, team collaboration, telephony or cloud calling, and video conferencing. An integrated UCaaS platform makes it easier to secure communications and prevent downtime. It also aids business continuity and disaster recovery. Many UCaaS products offer contact center capabilities, things like interactive voice response, call routing, and customer relationship management integrations. UCaaS platforms are typically made up of three main components. One component is an application server run by UCaaS providers in data centers. These servers can also be hosted in third-party data centers or on public cloud platforms like AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure. The second component is a software client that's downloaded onto user devices or accessed via web browsers using WebRTC or plugin. Third are the endpoints, the phones, video conferencing tools, or whiteboards that customers use to access their UCaaS platform, either over the public internet or through private wide area network links. UCaaS has two main architecture options: single tenancy and multi-tenancy. You can also implement a hybrid of the single and multi options. With the single tenancy model, each customer has a single dedicated software instance that can be customized to fit its needs. With the multi-tenancy model, several customers use the same software application. This limits the ability to customize, but it does cut costs. Some of the biggest savings come from updates and maintenance costs, which are shared by all tenants instead of just one customer. But single tenancy keeps each customer's data separate. That makes it more attractive to companies that need greater security. Also, with single tenancy, downtime for one customer doesn't mean downtime for the others. The question of whether to use UCaaS to deliver unified communications often comes down to whether an organization has an old PBX telephone system and needs to replace it, or if the company is just starting up and wants to be able to scale communications quickly and efficiently. On-premises UC, meaning the servers are located on the company's local area network instead of the cloud, often involves using proprietary hardware. That costs more upfront compared to UCaaS. It also makes the company more dependent on in-house skills for maintenance and management. One option that alleviates some of the maintenance and management woes is hosted UC. But hosted UC still comes with upfront hardware and infrastructure costs, mostly related to private WAN links. UCaaS eliminates these upfront costs. It moves UC budgets from a capital expense to an operational expense. UCaaS is easier to manage too, which reduces the need for in-house IT skills. All said, there are 5 big advantages to UCaaS. 1. Administration responsibility shifts to the service provider. Also, with UCaaS, the provider oversees updates and security patching. 3. UCaaS is easily scalable. 4. UCaaS eases the process of providing services to geographically dispersed office locations. And 5. UC services are future-proofed. The service provider is, at least typically, responsible for providing the compute, storage, and throughput, along with any updated apps, features, or other changes to the platform. So how do you decide whether to buy UCaaS? Start by answering these 5 questions. Will UCaaS save you money? Will the advantages of cloud-based UC outweigh any disadvantages? Is there a platform available that suits your needs? Will you need additional connectivity? And does UCaaS fit into your security requirements? While cost is often a selling point for UCaaS, make sure to perform a cost analysis. Be sure to include costs like licensing and training. It's also a good idea to talk to current UCaaS users. Find out what they like about their current tools and what they feel like they're missing. Also, think about the level of vendor support your business will require, because that can affect the price. Let's say you found the perfect UCaaS platform for your organization. Implementation comes next. UCaaS can appear to be a simple technology to integrate into an organization, but it's possible to overlook, or worse, incorrectly address key parts of the process. One of the trickiest parts is connectivity. Install too little bandwidth, and you'll quickly encounter performance issues. Install too much, and you'll waste money. Another thing to watch out for is weaving in the wrong types of links, like using public links where you need private ones. You could jeopardize both security and performance if this is done wrong. As you begin to implement UCaaS, pay close attention to your service level agreements. Be sure they're strong enough to meet your needs. During implementation, you may learn that the organization needs deeper technical and user support, or you might require more features and functionality. So before any broader deployment, you'll want to right-size expectations with vendors. Otherwise, user adoption rates and application performance will suffer. Interoperability is another potential sticking point in implementation. Many vendors provide open APIs so third parties can create interoperability. For example, to help departments that use separate collaboration tools send and receive messages seamlessly. But remember, working with those third parties adds complexity to a UCaaS deployment. Implementation can also be complicated if your company has an on-premises or hosted UC system but wants to use UCaaS to set up remote offices, or if you need to integrate emerging meeting room applications with legacy systems throughout the organization. These sorts of interoperability considerations are a formidable part of UCaaS implementation, so keep them in mind and don't underestimate the time your IT staff will need to get up to speed on a new platform. You can ease UCaaS implementation with planning. Time spent upfront crafting an implementation plan will speed employee adoption of UCaaS tools, which will increase productivity. Be sure to create a plan for making users aware of the benefits of UCaaS, and also outline how you'll train users for their specific business workflows. Next, consider a phased rollout, starting with a pilot program. This way, you can work out the kinks with a small but diverse group of users. Third, for the broader launch, develop an engagement campaign to pique interest in how UCaaS will improve both the business and users' individual roles. Do this upfront, and you can ease user hesitancy about the new technology. But remember, it's possible to overload users if they have too many UC tools available. You'll want to help users migrate from their old tools and transition onto their UCaaS tools as they're rolled out. The last thing you want is people using different applications for the same work. It'll just confuse them and slow productivity. All of what we've just covered is a lot to handle, but it's also important to keep security top of mind. If your company requires a higher than average level of security, avoid multi-tenancy and insist on single-tenancy UCaaS. Also, stay alert for updates from the provider. If you don't, you could unknowingly create vulnerabilities in your own network. And remember, traditional security concerns like passwords and patches are just as important with an as-a-service model as they are with your own on-premises UC system. And finally, be sure you understand and pay close attention to how the provider houses your applications and data. Use the reporting and analytics available to gauge the security of your UCaaS implementation. There's nothing worse when rolling out a major tech implementation than learning there's a data leak or other breach. While UCaaS is a mature technology, it continues to evolve with new features and capabilities. Experts say the hallmarks of the next generation of UCaaS will include generative AI with digital assistants to manage and automate employee workflows, as well as intelligent meeting capabilities like meeting recaps and action items. It's highly likely that as adoption of as-a-service tools grows, more organizations will skip having on-premises systems and go straight to cloud-based UC and specifically UCaaS. Like Erwin Lazar, an expert from research firm Metrigy puts it, there's no advantage to running your own system anymore.